Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Britton Webb, lead of the Lifetime Movie Network, My Two Husbands. Britton takes on the role of Stefan. Join us as we delve into Britton's insight into his character and the challenges of filming this movie. Thank you for being here, Britton.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Great. We can start. Can you tell us a little bit about your character in My Two Husbands?
So like you said, I played Stefan, which I mean, when I approached the character, I saw myself as and the character name as Stefan, whereas like they actually saw it as Stefan, which to me is a little too far-fetched for like who I am as a person. So I kind of approached it as I was going to be called Stefan, but I did end up being called Stefan throughout the movie. But so I play Stefan, and for my character development, I just I kind of went with that name. It just I went with Stefan as opposed to Stefan, but Stefan probably works better because the character kind of is like this schmuck type character, and at the heart of the character, he's like a con artist. Who's like willing to do whatever it takes to make a buck or get what he wants. Real like selfish type character. But yeah, it was a great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet either, so.
Okay. And what initially attracted you to your role in the movie?
I'm sorry, you kind of froze up on me.
What initially attracted you to your role in the movie?
Oh, to the movie itself. Well, I mean, in a way, this one was it was like my first direct hire. I'd actually worked with Ken Sanders, who's the My Killer Reunion. And not long after I did that, they reached out to me, and it was almost like a direct hire. They got me to audition for the role uh, of Stefan, but it was basically like, put something on tape. We want you. So that was kind of cool. Obviously, acting's tough business, and anytime you have somebody that trusts you enough to reach out to play a particular role, it's always gratifying and gives you confidence and makes you feel better about yourself. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's the beard or the longer dark hair in combination with like the lighter color eyes or what. But like I get cast a lot as like a villain type antagonist role in a lot of films. I also get cast as it's like total opposites. I either get cast as like a villain or I get cast as like the lead in a rom-com, which is awesome for me because it really like it just if you do too many films where you're playing the bad guy all the time, it kind of starts to eat at you a little bit. So it's always nice to get to play those other roles as well. But there's nothing more fun than playing the bad guy or playing the villain, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty gratifying in ways. So and he, most of the villain type characters just have more depth and are, you can dive deeper into their psyche and all. And yeah, so I had to, this particular character is basically like a conniving bastard. I mean, I can't say that. Sorry.
Yeah, you
But
can
I
say
mean, he's
that.
just that's who he is. So it was fun to play.
Great.
But what I going back to what you asked, I mean, what initially attracted me to it was just the fact that I'd worked with these guys before, and they trusted me and believed in me from a previous film. So it was cool to get to work with them again.
Yeah, I understand. And what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating?
Special and captivating. Well, I've only worked with Jeff who's the director of this film, this one time, but I did know him based on another actress friend that I have. I'd kind of I'd met him before, but I'd never actually worked for him. But he was really cool to work with. He's a great director and someone who I've a lot of respect for. To me, what makes the movie special was really his vision and the freedom he gave us as actors to make the characters our own. I mean, I feel like I was able to kind of find a middle ground with Jeff. I mean, a lot of films I work in, especially like your Lifetime type movies, to where like you have a broad audience. They want you to have a neutral accent, and I'm sure you've picked up on it. But I have a little bit of a southern drawl that I have to try to mask at times. So it was kind of Jeff worked with me on that. He was wanting to not have so much of the southern drawl to kind of reel that in, and he really helped me find the characters. So to me, what makes it special more than anything was just his direction. I mean, he knew what he wanted, and he was able to. I feel like he was able to pull it out of all of his actors. He's just a really good director, really hands-on, really personal. You know, he just, he makes you feel comfortable on set, which is, what every actor hopes and dreams for.
Yes, it's amazing. And what do you hope audiences take away from watching the movie?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I just hope the audience, appreciates all the many talented people who came together to make the film happen. I mean, I got to give a shout out to the producer, Ken Sanders, who he has a proven track record, has had many films on Lifetime, but he writes his own scripts and produces his films, and his scripts are always captivating, and I feel like they're wild, and take audiences on like a wild and unsuspecting ride every time, which is kind of what you want out of a Lifetime film. So I guess I just hope that audience are taken for a ride first and foremost. Cabby Borders was the female lead in this, or one of the female leads. And obviously she's very proven, talented. She played my wife in this film. Isabel Almoyan, who's a very young, talented Atlanta-based actor. I mean, she delivers a very genuine and real performance. I think audience will definitely want to follow. And then you got, your veterans like Moretta Moss, Johnny Geiger. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing all these right. And John Brittle, who all gave awesome performances as well. I didn't have the chance to work with all of them based on the shooting schedule, but have the utmost respect for all of them. I was really honored to be in a film with John because I mean, even though we didn't have scenes together, he's got a really impressive resume. It's filled with many different like character types who he plays with such ease and believability. Like he's a really awesome actor. And I guess even though I played the bad guy, I hope, the audience is able to find a small piece of themselves within my character. I mean, Stefan is greed. Stefan is self-absorbing. He's selfish. Whether we like to admit it or not, we all kind of have those characteristics at times. So I just hope I was able to humanize the character in a way that audiences can relate to.
Yeah. And what can you tease about your character journey?
About my character journey.
What can you tease?
Oh, a little teaser about my character journey.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, just I guess look for Stefan to be a manipulator who kind of, pushes Brooke, which is his wife, which is played by Cabby Borders. He just like pushes her forward almost against her will at times to get what he desires most, which is like financial freedom, and which never truly happens, because he ends up, he spends it as fast as he gets it. As soon as he gets the money, he spends it, but he's always after more, and looking for ways to get it the easy way as opposed to earning it.
And what was your favorite scene or moment while filming the movie?
Favorite scene. I mean, to me, my favorite scenes are really the most challenging scenes throughout a film. And we actually shot a scene where my character was in bed with Brooke. Again, it's played by Cabby Borders, but it was shot at the end of the night, so everybody's a little tired. We weren't sure if we were going to shoot that scene at the end of the night or not, and we ended up shooting it. And I wasn't as comfortable and confident with my dialogue as I typically am, because I just wasn't expecting we were going to get it in that night. I did, obviously run the dialogue, and I mean, I was pretty comfortable with it, but I felt like I kind of had to ad lib my way through it at times as well. And just again, gotta throw a shout out to Jeff. He was patient with me and helped me through it. He's definitely a actor's director. And another scene that stands out to me was a scene I had with Isabel, where I'm holding her captive. Spoiler alert, sorry. Uh, but I just enjoyed our back and forth. I mean, the scene had physical characteristics to it and attributes to it that allowed us to kind of feel it out and improvise our way through it. We had the script as a guideline, but with the physical attributes that were involved in the scene, we kind of got to play around with it a little bit, which was fun. And again, she's just extremely talented and always very present, delivers a very real performance, and just allows her character to adapt and be present in the moment. I thought she did a very good job with it.
Great. So we can change our subject. What have been
Okay.
what have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on your career throughout your career, and why?
Most memorable projects. All right.
Yeah.
Man, this is hard to kind of put in a box because there's so many. And you have you know special, they all have their own like unique special feel. I mean, I love being in Daisy Jones because I'm a huge Elvis fan. And when I was a kid, my grandma kind of helped raise me when my parents were at work, and she was a huge Elvis fan. So, getting to meet Riley and Priscilla on Daisy Jones was cool as hell. And then Bryan Cranston on Your Honor. I mean, that dude was just so cool. I mean, he came over, I was just had a day player role on that, but he came over and talked to all of us, made us feel welcome, and just shot the shit with us. Just really cool dude. And I mean, things like NCI. I mean, again, I know I'm naming a ton of them, but like NCIS New Orleans, like, I mean, it had Lucas in it, which to me is kind of my go-to. Like every time a producer or a casting director is like, "Hey, you need to change your accent and have a more neutral accent." I mean, he's one of the guys I go back to, like Lucas Black, him and like McConaughey, to like, I don't have to change anything. Look at Lucas Black, like he's a Southern boy and he did it all along in NCIS New Orleans. I mean, there's nobody with more Southern accent than Lucas, and he's a really cool dude too. So he's someone I have a lot of respect for. So that one was memorable. Speaking of accents, 10 Steps to Love, I did with Ella Cannon, who's actually an Australian actress. And that's when I realized, like, I actually was on set, or no, it was a table read. We were doing the table read for that film. And the whole way through the film, like, she had an American accent. And then, like, we finished the table read, and she's like, go straight into this strong Australian accent. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So it was just impressive to see her be able to, you know, to change her dialect so easily, and to see how the work she had put in order to be able to accomplish those type things. But I mean, I guess if I pick one overall, I mean, I got to go with Emancipation, because I mean, how many times do you get to put Will Smith in a headlock all day, you know? So in Emancipation, I got to work with Will Smith and kind of drag him out of this shed. And again, really cool dude, down to earth. Just can't say enough great things about him. He's just a good person. So I mean, that was obviously awesome. And just I mean, it's almost like walking on the moon. I mean, I've been in films and different television series before, but like walking on that set, like you didn't even have to get into character. Like the way the set dressing and everything was, like as soon as you walk on set, it's like you feel like you're there. And obviously it's a period piece. But also just seeing all I mean, there were cameras on like cranes attached to moon looking vehicles. It was just surreal. I mean, really cool and awesome performance. Another one that I relate to a lot, it's actually one that didn't work out for me, that David Fincher directed, called Mindhunter, which is on Netflix. It's got 2 seasons to it. Awesome series if you haven't seen it. But when I was really young as an actor, green, so green, like fresh out of the gate, I ended up booking a character called Tex Watson on Mindhunter, and flew out there to work on it. And is like basically like a 10-page monologue is kind of what my scene was. I mean, these two guys go around and basically interview serial killers, and I got the role for one of the serial killers, which was Tex Watson. And yeah, it was kind of, it didn't work out. They ended up going with someone else, but it was a great experience for me. And looking back on that, I mean, it was like that breaking moment, like it
Yeah,
didn't work out, but at the same time, I mean, it was amazing to get to work with David and the other talented people involved in that show at such a such a new and like, I mean, I was fresh, I was new, I just started acting, probably hadn't even been I'd probably been acting like a year and a half. So to have that experience, is like that breaking point. Like I say, it's like at that point when it doesn't work out, it's like you either quit or you suck it up and you learn from it and you keep going. So I feel like that's the pivotal moment in my career where I was like, it didn't work out, but it hasn't worked out for a lot of actors in certain situations. So it's either, saddle up, get back on the horse, or or cry about it. So
yeah,
it's that was a memorable one as well, just from the standpoint of, learning a lot and maturing as an actor.
yeah. And so, at Survival Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms. What is your all-time favorite?
This is actually funny you bring this up, because I love Christmas movies, and I've always kind of wanted I've never gotten to play in a Christmas film. So anybody out there, I'd love to play in a Christmas film. I'm just let that be known. I mean, I love Christmas. That's, my favorite holiday. And I love, I'm a big kid at heart. So like, I love the snow and all. We don't get much snow down here in Mississippi. So I've always kind of dreamed of a role where I would be in a Christmas film and getting to be on location with it snowing and filming and all that. I mean, I don't know if you consider them rom-coms. I mean, I'm a guy, so I don't watch a whole lot of rom-coms, I don't guess. But I mean, my favorite Christmas movies are Christmas Vacation, which is probably more of a com than a rom-com. But I mean, you got to give Christmas Vacation its due. I mean, it stands alone. And then I also, if you want to go straight to like rom-com Christmas, I would have to go with Four Christmases, which has Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, where they both have like, broken families to where both of their parents have gotten divorces, so they're having to go to each side's. I think that's hilarious. A lot of great talent in that film, and just very witty. I love the opening. Like yeah, from the it sucks you in from the beginning of the film when they're in that bar and and they're doing the whole role play thing. So anyway, it's that's probably my two favorite Christmas films for sure.
Great, great. And the last question, can you tease something about your next projects?
So yeah, so I have a faith-based film called actually, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Um, yeah, Disciples in the Moonlight, because it was initially called something else. But Disciples in the Moonlight. It's written by Josh Strikowski and directed by Brett Varvel. And it will be released in theaters nationwide on July 17th. You can actually get tickets for that now. You can visit, I mean, Instagram or Facebook. You can go to Disciples in the Moonlight page and actually purchase tickets from there. But that's very exciting. I played Detective Lawson in that film. His character arc kind of helps tell the story in a way. It's not a huge role, but it's pivotal, and just an amazing cast, beautiful crew. Brett, had his church community and his family involved the whole time, the whole way through it, and just amazing people. People you want to surround yourself around. So I'm very blessed and privileged to be a part of that film. I also love the script. For a faith-based film, I feel like a lot of times faith-based films are all about, rainbows and butterflies and just show all the, nothing bad ever happens in the world type thing. Whereas this script and like to me, when someone's, truly going to find God or come to God, it's usually at rock bottom. So, I mean, why not show that in films, whether they're faith-based or not? Like show the bad stuff too. And that's what I like about this film is that it kind of pushes your buttons, pushes boundaries in the faith-based genre, in my opinion. But just awesome cast and crew to work with, very talented people. Also have an independent creature feature I worked on, kind of like a Swamp Thing type deal. It's called The 12 Mile, which we shot in Florida, which the 12 Mile is like an area of swampland in Florida, right around St. Augustine area. But it was like my first true lead role. Like, I mean, I played lead in like Lifetime films, but a lot of time in Lifetime films, the female character is typically the main true lead, So I played like co-lead a lot in films, but this was like a true, lead in this film. And the makeup work and things that, like, so they had a lot of people from like that work in Orlando with Disney doing some of the makeup and cosmetics and things with the characters and all. So I'm really excited about that one. Like I really feel like it's going to turn some heads. It might be one of those cult type films that cult following type films. But I got to play a character that, I mean, to me is kind of like a lot of like what Pedro Pascal, plays is, and what to me I feel like is my kind of character type as like my true character type as an actor. That gritty type character that has to go through a lot and just has many dimensions to him. So anyways, very interesting script, very well written. Again, got to work with a lot of great people, and so I'm looking forward to that one. It'll probably be about six months or so before that one sees any daylight, though. We haven't been finished filming it too long, but yeah, those are the main two. After this one that's obviously coming out. What? It's coming out in 3 days, right? The
Yeah,
Lifetime film. All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
cool.
And make sure to watch the movie My Two Husbands on the Thursday 20th on Lifetime Movie Network. Okay. So this is it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Britton, to
Well,
join us.
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.